All right, guys, good morning. I got the dually warming up outside. Today is a big day for me. Today, I am going to Jegs to get something for me and Vicki. So she's bound and determined to have this small block Chevy in her C10. But in order to do that, I need some parts. I need a carburetor, I need an air filter, I need some valve cover hardware, I need some carburetor studs, I need a water pump, I need some water pump pulleys, crank pulley, an alternator bracket set, and a few other odds and ends. A fuel pump, I need a differential cover. But anyway, before we get into all that, I want to say that eventually we're going to put air conditioning on this, and I'll probably change it over to a serpentine system, a factory GM serpentine system, because I have someone who is shipping me a complete GM serpentine system with an aluminum reverse rotation water pump, which is what I had on this engine when I had intended to put it in the 71 C10, but I put it on Billy's Malibu, so it's on there for right now. But anyway, I need to go to Jegs and pick up some parts for this thing to get it ready. June Pup over here, she's ready to go. Look at her. You ready to go, June Pup? All right, let's go. There is one universal truth about June Pup. She is always ready to ride. So we hit Interstate 70, headed west towards Columbus to go to Jegs and pick up some parts for this C10 pickup truck. Hopefully, I can get everything I need here today and make some progress on Vicky's engine when we get back home. Now today's kind of a special day for June Pup because Scrappy's not with us. If I've got both the dogs, I have to leave them out in the truck. I just can't take them both in there. It's all I can do to keep up with one of them. So today, for the first time in a long time, June Pup gets to go in the store with me. She's got her nose into everything, but she keeps a close eye on her papaw. She never leaves my side. Anyway, I hand over a list of parts that I need to one of the salesmen, and they start rounding everything up while me and June Pup go tour the store and take a few photo ops while we're there. I found a few other things in the store that I needed that I hadn't thought about while I was walking around, and my pile of parts starts to really build on the counter. Miss Kimmy was there today. She helped bag up all my stuff, and eventually we're ready to head back home. Once we got back to the shop, I got busy putting everything on this engine to mock everything up, and June Pup kept a close eye on me. Once I had all the carburetor studs installed, I set that brand new Holley 750 double pumper down on the intake, tightened it down, and then installed the new Holley fuel pump. I'm really happy with the way everything's fitting so far. I just hope that this engine runs as good as it looks. Next up on my list of things to do is get my new water pump painted. I blow it off with some brake cleaner and air hose first, then hit it with a little bit of enamel primer, just to ensure that the Chevy orange color sticks to the water pump and covers nicely. While I'm waiting on paint to dry, I start pulling out parts and showing them to Kenny. But Kenny's got something he wants me to see too. What are you done here, Mr. Kenny Powers? Old Mark down at A1 knows what we're up against with this C10 chassis, so he hooked us up with this really nice abrasives rack. Nice surprise, unlike the one I'm about to get. Now, I was told by Miss Vicki I want shiny things on my engine, so...
What happened here?
What do you mean, what happened?
I see more shiny stuff that I was...
That's what you said you wanted!
With shiny things on it.
With shiny things on it?
Shiny, like you guys have shiny things. I was thinking of more the visual shiny things.
Those are visual shiny things.
Well...
I can't satisfy you.
Well, I mean, isn't there usually like an air cleaner that hides...
Yeah, it's a shiny one sitting right there.
He's gonna use an air cleaner? That's unheard of.
What do I owe the pleasure of this visit from you two yahoos?
I got off work early, and he's taking me shopping shopping for a computer because we need a computer and a printer. Our computer is a 1998, like,
It's that old?
yeah, the kids were like way little. It's so old, it doesn't support any software. And we never worried about a computer because there's always a laptop around, but now that we're empty nesters, there's no laptops floating around anymore. So it's time for us to get our own computer.
So you're gonna go get one?
Yeah, nothing major, nothing fancy. It can even be used. I just need something that's going to do the shipping.
Okay.
That's what we're going to get.
All right. Thank you, Tigger. Thank you, Tommy. I'm sorry. It's not Tigger anymore.
Wait, whoa.
It's Tigger. He's always Tigger.
I didn't say anything. Why'd you say that for?
I'm just trying not to upset anybody today, that's all.
Oh, are people getting upset today? Is that the theme?
I don't know. Are they?
I don't know. Are they?
Scrap looks pretty chill.
Scraps chill. That's what. Hi, Scrappers. Hi, Pumpkin. All right, guys. So it's about 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. And I got the jegs. I got my parts. I got most of the stuff that I needed. But I'm still short a couple things. One, I forgot I need an alternator. So I'll probably just go get a chrome 1-wire alternator. And that should take care of the charging system. Mark got me a brand new small block Chevy long water pump, and I've got the brackets. I've got my pulleys, the valve covers are on, brand new 750 Holley carburetor with a choke, so that way in the wintertime or fall, whenever, when it's cold, we need to move this thing, I can just use the factory choke cable and hook it up to that carburetor, and it should fire up and run just as smooth and as easy as the 6-cylinder. So Friday night I had some company stop by the shop, and I didn't finish taking video. So today's video is just going to pick up Saturday morning when Tyler Kerns pulled up in front of the shop. Tyler is the guy who's here to letter Vicki's 64 C10. So he brings in all of his stuff, sets up shop, and gets started. The first thing he does is explain to me that he's made this template that he's going to trace out on the door. And he shows me exactly what his plan is to try and get both sides identical, at least as close as possible for something that's being painted by hand. Now, I have full confidence in Tyler, but I'm not so sure his work's going to turn out as well if I don't get Scrappy away from him. I don't want her bumping him while he's trying to hand paint these doors. So I take the dogs outside, put them in the dually, and start the truck up and let it warm up so we can make our trip down to Buckeye Lake to see Mark. I've got a few parts down there I need to pick up this morning for Vicki's small block Chevy. Now, if you've watched this channel for any amount of time, you know the drill when those dogs come in the door down at A1. They've got Mark wrapped around their little paws. But Mark's not only trying to feed the dogs today, he's trying to get me in on it too. He had donuts waiting down there. I guess he does that on Saturdays.
By the way, I had this in stock. Lower hose 64 Chevy.
After I got done listening to Mark show off his inventory, I came back to the shop and Tyler was getting busy. He had this thing traced out on the doors and he was getting started with some paint. Meanwhile, Miss Vicki's in the house making cookies. She had a cookie order today that she needed to get done for some friends of ours. All right, guys, so Tyler's in the shop and he's lettering the truck. Vicki's in the house making cookies. And I have a project today that I need to get taken care of. I told Vicki I wanted to start that engine on the engine stand, and I wanted to make sure that it's going to run okay before I pull that 6-cylinder out. She wasn't very keen on me starting it on the engine stand, and I had somebody reach out to me, a friend of mine, who actually has an engine run stand, and he's going to allow me to borrow it. So, me and Kenny Powers are about to fire up the skid loader. If I can get it started, it's awfully cold. But we're going to try and fire up the skid loader, put the forks on it, hook the trailer to the dually, and go pick up this engine run stand, bring it back to the shop. So maybe this weekend, we'll be able to hear that little small block Chevy come to life, and I'm praying to God it's got a stock camshaft in it. I have no idea what's in this thing, which is part of the reason why I want to start it. and make sure before I put it in there that it's the right engine for Vicki's truck. Now I'm going to tell y'all, it has been cold here in central Ohio for the last week or so. Now, my equipment, it doesn't get run every day like it used to, so it sits for days and days and days on end. There's no guarantee this thing's going to start. But I wait for that glow plug light to go out and then hit the key. At first, it didn't sound very good. It looked like we were going to have serious trouble. But eventually, the little New Holland lit right off. So there's one piece of equipment down. We've just got a couple more to go. The next thing I needed to get started was the John Deere. There's no guarantees with it either. But it fired up. And of course, Billy's Cummins fired right up too. So once I had everything running, it was time to start moving trailers out of the way. I need to get Billy's little trailer moved out of the way of my big one so that I could back the dually up to my big equipment trailer sitting in the back. The loader on my little John Deere tractor is really handy for moving trailers and stuff around. Once I got everything moved out of the way, I went back and kicked the tires on my tri-axle. It's been sitting there for quite a while. But all the tires were still holding air. So I backed the dually up to it. Kenny helped me hook it up, and then Kenny helped me unload this fuel tank off the trailer before we left. Once we had that out of the way, we loaded the skid loader up on the trailer and Kenny helped me tie it down, and then we hopped in the dually to make our way down towards Millersport to pick up this engine run stand. I'm so thankful to have Kenny helping me. I don't know what the heck I'd do without him. I'd sure have a rough way to go, I know that. We finally make it down to Millersport and find the place we need to go to pick up this engine stand. I unload the skid loader, and then we start taking a look at this engine run stand to figure out what's the best way to pick it up and where's the safest place to haul it, either on the truck bed or on the trailer deck. We decide to just go ahead and set it on the dually's flatbed and tie it down there. I really appreciate Bill letting me use this thing. I've known Bill Bybee almost my whole life. I went to school with his son. He's helped me out many times. Well, I sure thank you for letting us borrow this.
It makes it a lot easier.
Oh, absolutely.
It takes the guesswork out of is it or isn't it.
Right.
Put a motor on there, and actually, now that I got that new head on there, you can actually rebuild the motor on there.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you, Bill. Thank you.
No problem.
When we got back to my shop, I was dying to go inside and see how Tyler was doing with the lettering on that 64 C10. But me and Kenny went ahead and got this thing unloaded first. I set it down on the concrete pad in front of the door at the corner of the shop, and then Kenny rolled it inside in front of Vicki's truck. I think Bill built this thing like 15 years ago, and it's a really nice setup. Anyway, once we got it unloaded, I backed the tri-axle back out where it was and unhooked from it. And then it was finally time for me to go in and see how Tyler was doing inside the shop.
Alright, I'm ready.
So here it is, the moment of truth. Vicki finally gets to see what we've pulled off out there in my shop. And I just hope to God she's as happy with it as I am.
That's exactly what I hoped. That is perfect.
Tyler Kerns knocked this thing completely out of the park. The whole reason we wanted to do this truck the way we've done it is to do a tribute back to the days when I was young and grew up watching things on television like people watch YouTube today, like Happy Days, one of my favorite shows, The Waltons, many other television programs that I grew up on, and movies that I very much enjoyed watching when I was young, are what I hope to replicate just a little bit with my YouTube channel. programs that you feel something, you connect with, you learn something. That's what I want to do. That's how I want to connect with people.
Ready to pay the man.
You're paying him in cookies?
Paying him in cookies.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
All right, man. Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you, Bill.
I really appreciate you. You made my wife happy. That's something I can't necessarily do most of the time. But hit them with your name and your phone number in case you want these people to get a hold of you if you want some more work.
My name is Tyler Kerns, and my side business is named Redbone Customs. It's 937-728-2603, and I'm out of Clarksville, Ohio. Just give me a call, and we can make it almost as cool as Bill's around.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the shop. So I'm not going to keep you on here much longer tonight because I am struggling with my furnace again. Evidently, my tank has a bunch of rust or something in the bottom of it, and when my furnace runs for extended periods of time, like it does right now when it's this cold out, it tends to suck all that crud down into the shutoff valve, and it plugs it solid, and then my furnace shuts off. So I went inside to eat dinner a little while ago with Vicki, and I come back out here in the shop's like 30 degrees, and it's like 1 degree outside or something. I don't know, it's cold. So I can't shut the furnace off right now. So it's gonna be a little bit loud in here. But anyway, I just wanna say thank you to everybody for watching and subscribing and liking and sharing and all that. I can't even believe how fast this channel is growing. It's amazing. But, you know, our family grew up and raised a certain way, and, you know, it just so happens that we raced, or we do race, or raced, whatever you want to say. But there's a lot of families out there that don't race that could probably identify a little bit with what we go through week to week, day to day. And so I hope that everybody understands that this channel may not always be about drag racing. It may be about all kinds of things. There's other things that I like to do before drag racing came along. I used to have lifted pickup trucks and used to like to go mud running, and there was a lot of things that Vicki and I used to do when we were younger that we would like to do again on a basis of limited exposure to stupidness. But there's all kinds of things, you know. We'd like to go ride ATVs on trails down in West Virginia, and we'd like to, you know, there's a lot of things. I'm not going to get into it, but there's just a lot of things that we could do together and share with everybody that don't necessarily involve drag racing. So it's hard to tell what's coming here. It's hard to tell what you're going to see from one day to the next. But today it was mostly getting this truck lettered. So, you know, we just wanted to make this truck and this channel, since it's not going to be the same as it used to be, and that's fine, but if I'm doing this on my own the way I want to do it, I want to do it my way, and my way is I would like to connect with people in a way that I was connected with when I was young, with programs and things that I used to watch. You know, back then it was television, there was no internet. You know, today, if you want to watch anything worth watching, you just about have to watch it on YouTube. That's just the way it is. There isn't hardly anything left at all on regular programming worth watching anymore. The only thing that I watch is Street Outlaws, and that's, I don't know that that's for everybody, but anyway, I hope that everybody understands that this isn't going to necessarily be about drag racing every day. It may not actually be about fixing cars every day. There's all kinds of different things that go on here day to day, and not every day is a good day. Not every day is a day that I want to share with the world what I get into and the struggles and problems that we deal with as a family. But hopefully the vast majority of my days left here will be good days. In order for me to have good days, I have to limit my exposure to stupidness and things that lead to bad things or bad feelings. So that's what I'm doing. I limit myself to the exposure of things that I know aren't good, or people who aren't good or don't have our best interests at heart. It is what it is. So I'm gonna hop off here tonight, guys. Good things are coming. The merch line is coming your way very soon, and I want you guys to understand that when you buy merchandise to support my family or my channel, it's going to go to a good cause. It's going to go to help the people that we love dearly, our family members, and it's going to go to help the people who help us, like Kenny and Harley, and you know, everybody down in Kentucky that actually makes the merchandise and prints the shirts and everything. It goes to help good people, and I hope to showcase these people more and more as time goes on this channel. But I'm gonna hop off here for tonight because I feel like I'm rambling. I'm freezing out here in the shop, and I need to get this video up. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, everything. I appreciate you very much. Keep your eyes peeled. Tommy was here tonight, and we've got a computer set up in the office in here now. The merchandise area is about to go live again. It's all cleaned up. Kenny and Harley were here tonight and helped us clean it all up. Got all my monster trucks put back up on the mezzanine. We're getting ready to fire this thing up again. Thank you all. Good night.